Good morning.
Good morning.
Has anybody else read that funny meme about how suddenly now on Zoom calls we're all waving at each other all the time? You don't do that in real life. You don't walk into a meeting of people and do this or say, okay, bye-bye, but we're all doing it over Zoom. And I realized I'm a terrible culprit of it, which I don't mind. It's not offensive. It's kind of cute, but it's just a funny thing that we've largely kind of all adopted. So that made me laugh. Good morning, Rebecca. I saw you were at 5:30 spin this morning. Very impressive.
It was.
We
yes.
missed you at 6:30. Ugh. Okay, so it's Motivational Monday.
It is.
And we're talking about something that I think is both great for Motivational Monday. You got a little fuzzy on you.
Is that food?
No. But also,
later.
stop it. But also great for Thanksgiving and this month of trying to be grateful. So Dr. Mary, why don't you kick it off?
It's the actual notion of why you don't gift or pay to go to an AA meeting. There is a donation. There are some donation fees.
No, you can't have a donation fee. There are
Right, there are donations.
opportunities.
Because sometimes it takes a little bit of money to rent the space, and you got to buy sobriety chips and
The books.
the books. So each
And isn't there coffee there too?
there is
Or is that only at Lutheran churches?
It's only at Lutheran churches because
Okay.
most meetings say we don't want cold, dark beverages because they might mess with the carpet.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Because there are a lot of people that have
Some tremors.
Some tremors.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I've lost my thread now.
sorry. Donations, not charging.
Yes. So and the idea is going to an AA meeting is just you don't have to give money, so it is actually free. The idea being it's a perfect example of pay it forward. You go there, you get better, you help someone else, you help each other. Now, all right, some people don't like going, some people don't like to be bossed. There are some issues with it. It's very Christian orientated, and I've had the opportunity to talk to Muslims and Native Americans, and we all talk about the fact that if you don't, they try to change the book to say whatever deity you believe in or whatever faith you have in something. And it's more of a faith than an actual hardcore religion. It's just not written that way because the book was written in the 30s. It's also an incredibly sexist book.
Dr. Mary,
Yeah.
let's stay focused. Paying it forward.
But the idea is to pay it forward. Just like I apparently trying to shine up to all minorities involved went a bit too far there.
No. I just think I really love the idea, and I never thought about the fact that it is a no fee based organization and how that operates, and more importantly, why. So I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like...
Can I scream your name out if you're not?
Please do. It seems like one of the things that has so much potential power for AA is just the idea of it's truly open to anyone,
Yeah.
because you can have no money in your pocket and come. You don't have to give it the donation time.
No.
So it's truly open and welcoming, particularly if you can find a meeting that has figured out how to adjust the language a bit so that it is not so Christian organized religion
I mean,
based.
there are some that there are very Christian-based ones. There are some very faith-based ones. There's ones that they sing at.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't go to those ones. But,
That's surprising.
But my point is there's one for, and I've said this before, there is one, they're all different. You go, there's a list of about 100 in the Fargo Moorhead area alone. Find one that you like.
But to stay on this theme, so not only is it accessible to everyone, which is a pay it forward model, but also it's not driven really by anyone. I mean, there is a leader, correct?
Yeah. There's someone that volunteers to actually host the meeting. So they read the promises out at the start, and then just says, and now we're going to have so and so where we do a collection, and now we're going to. One of the ones I go to on a Friday, they hand out raffle tickets as you walk in, so someone reads out the last 3 numbers of the raffle ticket, and if you want to, we read through the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And then when they said I'll pass, they read out another number, or you can just say, yeah, I just want to listen tonight, thanks very much. And then after that, it's open up to discussion. Who wants to ask questions, or who wants to say something based on what we read. And you don't have to say anything if you don't want to.
One of the most powerful things I learned about you, from you, as we started talking through this, was the idea that you didn't really speak for a year.
Ooh.
Because the pay it forward place you were in was just to listen.
Yeah.
And then can you talk about, because I have a vision of what it must have been like, but can you talk about what it was like the first time you actually, did more than maybe just acknowledge who you were, but actually sort of gave some story, testimony, shared your vision, your journey, however you define that. Can you talk about that?
I think it was probably the longest sentence I said in an AA meeting is when I stood up to collect my 1-year chip. All the others, the 1 month, well, even the first one, I said, all I said was, my name is Maz, I'm an alcoholic, thanks. I maybe have strung a couple of sentences together when I got to about the 8th or the 9th month, but it was, I spoke for about 6 or 7 minutes, which was, when I got my first year chip, and I thought, well, I've just droned on, and everybody loved it. One person came up to me and said, I thought you could speak, which was nice. And then they actually thanked me for I was just being honest. I just thanked everyone for, I was now sober for a calendar year. And I wanted to thank everyone and just said what I honestly thought, that it was because I came to these meetings and I had to listen. And I listened to you all. And I thought, someone once called me a wallflower of AA, which is just someone that goes in and doesn't say anything. But they were nice about the fact that when I did finally speak, I actually said something that was actually worth listening to. So.
I'm so moved by that, because what I think happened from my perspective, my very limited vantage point, is by hearing other people's stories, by other people generously sharing their journeys, their struggles, their successes. It gave you permission to not only admit where you had failed, but to celebrate where you had succeeded.
Yeah.
And we don't do that very often, particularly in the Midwest, where we are so determined to blend in and to not toot our own horns. And I think if we did some more of that, maybe people wouldn't feel so bad about themselves, which might help them get help for whatever they need help for sooner.
It is. It's, you know what it is for me, and again, I know it doesn't work for everyone, but for me it was like the best form of therapy, and not because it's free. But it just explains so much. It went beyond the fact that I'm there in the company of a great bunch of people who we all are the same. We don't judge each other. And I just thought, that's it. There's judging going on all over the world. People get depressed at work because other people who are trying to make themselves feel good are, I don't know, inadvertently or inadvertently, deliberately. I'm making words up again, aren't I? Someone get a dictionary or a thesaurus for tomorrow. They're trying to make themselves feel better by making someone feel bad. And when you go to an AA meeting, people are saying things to make them feel better, to make you feel better.
Yeah.
It's a powerful example of what we all should do as human beings.
I think that I have said this on here. I certainly have written about it. But the closest experience to an AA meeting I have ever had was when I got called into Maz's small group in rehab. I don't know, 8 to 10 people who Maz was meeting with on multiple times a day.
Yeah, we were there we did everything from 9 to 4:30 together.
So this group knew each other. Maz had been with them for 4 or 5 days at this point. And I went in to sit with these people who ranged in age from 20 to probably 70. Men and women, every single one of them except Maz, back in rehab, not for the second time, but for the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th time. And these are throwaway people in so many senses of the word, by who we value and how we give credibility to people. These are throwaway people. And they were, hands down, and this is not an exaggeration, they were hands down the single finest people I have ever met. Ever. They welcomed me in, they listened to me, they asked smart questions, they didn't judge me. It was just, I'll never forget it. I've never had an experience like that. Never. And I am in rooms where I am celebrated and lifted up, and I get to celebrate and lift people up all the time. And I've never been in a place surrounded by grace like I was in that room. So I think today, and really every day, pay it forward however you can, in whatever capacity you can, to whomever you can, because you'll never regret it. And you don't know what it will do for them, and you don't know what it will do for you.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
No, just, you could start by, if you're in the business of having a Zoom meeting and you haven't done it before, maybe you'll cheer someone up this morning by waving at them on Zoom. Then ask them how they're doing.
Yeah. And then listen.
Listen.
That's the important piece.
Yeah, that's the bit that most people miss out. Listen.
Yes. Yeah. What if we could all take a year to listen to other people's stories and see how they interconnect with us?
And don't immediately judge. Just listen and accept.
It's a beautiful thing. So, that's the motivational theme for today's Daily Dose. Pay it forward how you can, when you can, to whomever you can, for them and you. Have an excellent day, and thanks for watching.
See you tomorrow. Bye. Not a wave.